Two marker. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D, aka the Ryan 680.
And this is Lex back at it again with more review content for you guys.
Let's get right to it, Lex. Man, okay, so short story, guys. We literally were like, you know what? Lex texted me during the workday. You know, we have regular jobs and everything. Quick story, guys. Quick synopsis here of our lives. So Lex texted me. He's like, "Hey, I totally forgot. I've been seeing people talking some stuff about my adventures with Superman." I'm all like, "What? We gotta review it. We gotta review it. We gotta talk about it. Jack Quaid's in here. Alice Lee's in here. You know, I'm excited. I'm a Superman's my second hero." Second favorite hero, and I was like, "Yeah,
Wrong, man.
let's
No, I'm just kidding.
Batman all day, dude." And I was just sad there's no Batman, whatever. But I was like, "Yeah, that's fine, let's do it." And like, boom, thank you HBO Max, by the way, or Max now,
Yeah,
Cartoon
Max.
Max Adult Swim. Thank you so much for giving us early access to this. And let's get right to it, Lex. What are we talking about today? What is it? And list how many I guess the length time of our review, and we're gonna mention no spoilers review, guys, by the way, no spoilers review. But what are we talking about today, Lex?
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and give you guys a review of My Adventures with Superman. It's the latest animated show on the Superman character coming to you guys via Adult Swim and Max, I believe, the
Yeah.
next day.
Yep. July
Premiere
6th is the release date, guys.
at midnight.
Yep, at midnight. My Adventures with Superman is a coming of age story catching up with the 20-something Clark Kent, voiced by Jack Quaid, which we know him from The Boys, ladies and gentlemen. The bright and driven Lois Lane, voiced by Alice Lee, and their best friend Jimmy Olsen, voiced by Ishmel Sahid. I apologize if I'm saying that, butchering that. As they begin to discover who they are and everything they can accomplish together as an investigative reporting team at the Daily Planet. Let's get
Yeah.
right to it, Lex. Okay, so when we first saw this trailer, Lex actually showed me this trailer and everything, and I was like, it's drawn very different, right, Lex? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
drawn very
animation
different.
style was a little different. I think definitely inspired by like some anime,
I would say anime
especially
in general.
especially
Yeah,
I think it's like Americanized anime in particular, and that's not, I'm not saying that in the bath way, but
yeah,
just animation style. It's closer to what I've seen recently. Actually, I didn't finish the show, but Cyberpunk has
yeah.
an anime on Netflix that is
Mm,
more American produced in terms of the animation style. That is close. It also reminds me of Invincible from
yeah,
Amazon Prime. So it's a
yeah.
merge of these new age animation that honestly, like I always saw it intriguing when seeing like previews of the show and things like that. But now having seen, which by the way, I wanted to prefix this. We're giving you a review of
Yeah.
the season as a whole. However, we can disclose that we've only been granted the first 7 episodes,
Yep.
and the
One through
season is
seven.
going to be 10 episodes. So we're missing 3 episodes of context to give you guys the full picture, but we can still give you a review based on what we've seen. So that's what we're
Yep.
gonna do. We're not doing the
Nice.
episode breakdown, okay?
Yep.
Um, but that said, having seen the 7 episodes, I think this animation style fits really well. It's different, it's modern, and I don't know. I really dug the animation style here, and here we get a little preview with the title or just an image here. What did you think, Ryan, about the animation style, like in motion? Like, what did that give you an impression of?
I'm not gonna lie. When you first showed me the trailer when we watched it, I was like, I don't know. It looks very weird.
Yeah,
Very, very weird. I'm very picky when it comes down to animations, especially because we grew up with the old,
yeah,
Superman, Batman. We grew up with the old Justice League on Cartoon Network. Teen
yeah.
Titans, if you're a Teen Titans fan,
Oh
Teen
yeah,
Titans go, and we'll talk about that later. But
yeah,
yeah, I just, we grew up with that, and so I was comparing it, of course, to that because it's the same, animation studio, more Adult Swim, right? More so, but I'm gonna say this: I loved it. As soon as the opening came on, that
the
opening,
opening.
guys,
And this is available on
yeah,
YouTube
on
already, guys.
YouTube,
You guys
yeah.
can watch the opening early.
Oh
You
my
don't have to wait.
god,
The opening, as a
it's
matter of fact,
I
correct me
loved
if
it.
I'm wrong, Ryan, but I think the opening during the episode,
Mhm.
I don't think it shows up until episode 2 or 3 though.
Yes, correct,
Okay, so
correct.
guys, just go to YouTube, watch the opening. The opening is brilliant. It's really short compared to some anime openings, in my opinion. That one definitely takes anime style and the music, the motions, everything.
Yeah.
Love this opening. This is probably one of the best openings that
Yeah.
I've seen from
It
like,
brought me, and I'm gonna say, people are gonna call me crazy when I say this, but it brought me back to the days where, WB 35. It brought me back to those days of Yu-Gi-Oh, of Pokemon. What
yeah,
getting home from school, from elementary school to go watch Pokemon, and holy smokes, dude, this it brought me back. I had a
yeah,
flashback almost to where, like, this is similar to Pokemon. A simple music shows simple scenes together, and
yeah.
just your heart just skips
It
a
doesn't,
beat.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't like necessarily spoil any. I mean, there's previews and teasers,
No, I
but
mean, yeah,
it gets to the point. But every time I saw the intro, dude, I was smiling, and it's just because it's well crafted. It shows you like Superman origin and things like that, and yeah,
it
I
was
just
great.
absolutely love that intro.
Yeah, the newest animation series from Warner Brothers Animation and DC, the head honcho there, James Gunn. Now I was really on I looked for it, but it looks like James Gunn. It doesn't look like he had anything to do with this. So because there's no credit of him anything anywhere. I was like researching. I was like, I wonder if he took any part in it, but it looks like no, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to keep the animation like its own Elseworld umbrella, I guess, so to speak, because they're going, a few places here. Granted, this is probably like what, if I cannot remember, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but this is probably the most recent. I can't remember the last. I mean, Teen Titans Go is probably the last animation series of DC that I could think
Um,
of that's been recently. Teen
well,
Titans Go,
there's
and
been Are you talking about shows in particular?
yeah, shows like that that premiered on Max like this. Um, I,
Um, well, there's been the movies. So
yeah,
like
Teen Titans
Justice
Go,
League.
yeah.
No, what I meant like Justice League War.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Ju-
yeah, the actual animation films,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, the animation films. But yeah,
But
you're
as a
right in terms of
series, yeah,
series. Yeah. Teen
yeah,
Titans Go is the most
and
recent stuff.
and if this is one of the few, is if this is the helm of their new animation series for future projects, I'm 110% on board, guys. This is a solid,
Yeah.
great start. We saw 1 through 7 episodes. Great start. It's formatted very well. I felt like they're really quick. They're about 22 minutes long. That's perfect. It's almost like it's literally the same length, if not
Yeah.
around the Ted Lasso era, I guess, around there, or
I
a little bit longer,
well
or a
no,
little bit
well
shorter.
it's shorter, but the the th- since it's going to be in Adult Swim, with advertisement, you can expect this to be like a 30
For
minute
30 minute,
show,
yeah,
right? Because there is going to be commercials and things like that airing
yeah,
live. But yeah, 22 minutes. It was a super easy binge. The show is such a joy that like I just wanted to keep binging. I don't know if this was the same experience with you, Ryan.
yeah.
Um,
No, yeah,
but it was
definitely,
just so easy to hit play next because it took so little of your time, and also
yeah.
like there is a continuity. Here's where I want to get a little deeper into the review, and I wanted to say, so there is a continuity. There's an ongoing story. These are going to air weekly, if I'm not mistaken, and
Yes,
there is going to be a sense of like, oh, okay, what's going to happen next. So that's what I enjoyed about the binge part of things. As a week to week audience member, I think the first two, maybe three episodes are gonna feel slow, um because you kind of want them to get to a certain point. This is, I don't want to say a straight up origin story, but it is the origin of Superman and the Clark Kent dynamic, right? Like the
yeah,
show synopsis talks about how he's shaping his secret identity as he goes. This
yeah.
is also a and this might make some people happy because it tends to be a criticism of Superman as a character, but this is a little bit of an underpowered Superman. He does start off not even
Not
knowing
knowing anything
and the
really,
entirety
yeah.
of his
Who he
origin
is,
and
yeah.
the power set that he has. There's still 7 episodes in. I'll just say like there's still stuff for him to discover,
Hmm.
and I find that exciting because this show I think was made in mind with bringing in a new audience. to the show, or new
Yes.
eyes to
Or
Superman.
introducing new people to Superman, definitely.
Yes, I think that's the main target audience here. There's definitely things for the hardcore fans to enjoy, and I think
Yeah.
a lot of them are going to still fall in love with this version.
Yeah.
There are some frustrations as someone who's a fan of the lore, and the moment that a character gets mentioned, you know who that is, and the change of origins here maybe frustrates you a little bit. But all in all, I think they're doing a really good job at showing Superman to a new audience because they're
Yeah.
taking their time. They're also having some freshness around like what makes Superman. But I gotta say, Ryan, like that said, I think the versions that we got here for these characters, I'm absolutely delighted with the Superman Clark Kent that we got here.
Definitely.
I think
Yes.
Jack Quaid does an amazing job as the
Yeah.
character, and you
Yeah.
can clearly see the distinction between he's building up Superman, but you can see the distinction between how Jack Quaid plays
Yeah.
Superman and how he plays Clark Kent.
There's so much dynamic between him, and I love that because they separate the two. I
Yeah.
love that a lot, and that's the thing that people do not understand, and that's the thing that James Gunn does understand. By the way, that you have to play. I'm pretty sure in the screenplay or in the rehearsal and all the test screening for Superman, they had him in the suit, in the Christopher Reeve suit, and in the Clark Kent, regular attire, and it's like you have to,
You have to
you
be
have
able to nail
to do
both
both, just
because
like
they're
Batman.
played
Just like
differently.
Batman, you have to nail
Yeah.
Batman and you
Bruce
have to
Wayne.
nail Bruce Wayne. You
Yeah.
have to do both. And granted, though, let me ask you this question, Lex, because
Mhm.
at the first episode out or the second episode, we're not spoiling it because I was kind of like, okay, what did you think about the suits? So the suit right here, ladies and gentlemen, what did you think about his suit when he first got it and everything? What did you think of it? There was the colors, was everything
Yeah.
good? Was it to your liking? Did you like the way it was introduced to the suit to him?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, guys. We can't spoil too much. We don't. We want you guys to absorb this for the very first time as well. But I'll just say I like this version of the suit. At first, I felt a little like I
It,
wasn't sure
I
about
was
the
mixed on
two.
it in the beginning.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about the dual color of the blue. Because as you can see, there's two shades of blue in there. It looks clearer too once you're seeing it in action and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But other than that, I think this is a good way. It's grown on me the dual blue thing, by the way.
yeah.
The other than that though, it's the best way I think to keep it traditional because in
Yep.
animation, I
The
think
underwear.
the shorts, the underwear looks better in animation than it does in live action. That's just my opinion. I'm still open
Yeah.
for whatever they end up doing
James Gunn.
for James Gunn's. I like
I
the look
want
of just
underwear.
the belt. Like I don't think I
Yeah.
want the underwear in live action, but
What?
in
Okay.
that's just my take. But
Okay.
in animation, I think it works well, and here it works the way that the suit is introduced without giving a ton of detail around that. I'm okay. I'm acceptant of it. I'm still excited for them to explore that a bit more on the remaining episodes. But and the logo, I actually thought I wasn't gonna like, and now having it seen, I like it because as you can see, like the S on even on the
Yeah.
title of the
Even
show,
on the
it's a
title.
little
Yeah.
wonky, right? It matches
Yeah.
what he's
What he
wearing.
was wearing.
I
I
don't
was,
mind it.
yeah.
Like I like it now.
I was so mixed in the beginning, right? I was so
Yeah,
mixed. But this show just grows on you guys. I'm telling
yeah.
you, you
It's
need to watch this on Adult Swim opening weekend, opening day. You need to watch it and keep watching it because it's gonna leave you like, what's next? I
and
feel like it is. It is
and
definitely gonna be a hit
yeah.
for Max. I feel
Just
I
once
feel like
again,
it is.
expect for maybe the first couple to be a little slow. It gets going, but what I'm saying
Yeah.
slow is like, maybe this is a
Well,
frustration for me as a
for
comic
you,
book.
Lex, for you it was so. For me, it wasn't. I actually felt
You
very. I
felt
was,
okay.
yeah. I felt like it was good. I was like,
Okay, so
where
then
is this world take? Because you got to remember, guys, this is a new series.
yeah,
So if you're upset that the first two, I mean, come on, Ted Lasso, the first episode was slow. So many shows
yeah,
are like the first episode is usually slow. But in my take here, because it's real quick, because everyone knows Superman. You have to remember, this is a character everybody knows. And the
yeah,
fact of the matter is, you don't need to do like this whole like Smallville story.
yeah. No,
I feel like for me that this is a fast forward of the Smallville era of the Smallville story. Just fast forward where he's already on the suit.
yeah, yeah.
And
They
like
don't spend too much time on
it really,
the.
yeah, it really compels you because it's like, oh man, this is so good. It's not gonna focus too much of like who am I, where am I am. Like, it doesn't focus on that. It
Yeah.
focuses more on being the Superman that we need at our current time, on our
Yeah.
current Earth and everything. And so I
Yeah.
definitely enjoyed that a lot. Jack Quaid, I actually don't. I'm not gonna lie, I don't recognize his voice too much.
Really?
Yeah, I really.
I
I don't know.
recognize it real quick because
Okay, I don't. I guess I got used to it. I guess that's what
yeah,
it is. I got used to it. Alice Lee, I know this is okay.
I
So
want to talk about her,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
I
You go
like I
first.
liked her as Lois Lane. And come to find out, ladies and gentlemen, Teen Titans Go actual serves. So Sam Register is actually a Teen Titans Go serves from Teen Titans Go serves as executive producer under this, and Jake White comes from Invader Zim. Enter the so
There's
we
a
know who's
lot.
behind the
Yeah.
scenes. Yeah,
I saw a list on Twitter of all the people involved in the show, like from character
yeah,
designers and story. A lot
dude,
of people have been
big
working in
names,
animation for a long time.
big
And
names.
sometimes, like some of them are coming from some of the prime of animation, and I say prime, but like
Yeah,
the '90s, early 2000s. Like a lot of
yeah,
animation was there, and it was growing.
yeah.
Uh, and yeah, overall, I think this show is well crafted, but it wouldn't work without the voice actors. And I want to point like
No, yeah.
this is one of my favorite versions of Lois Lane. Like I know Ryan, you said you like her. I personally love this version of Lois Lane.
No,
Um,
I actually I'm kind of in the beginning of the without it's kind of hard
yeah,
because we without giving you full context of the story, but
yeah,
I, I'll just say it outright. I mean, sometimes I do feel like she's selfish in certain ways.
yeah. And the
It's very
episodes
different.
address that. They do
Yeah,
mention
and
that.
we're not going to mention that. But
Yeah,
first and foremost, I'm going to say it again and again. This Clark Kent is so great. If we get
yeah.
this exact replica of this exact outfit in the James Gunn,
Oh, the
this
outfit.
would
Yeah,
be amazing. I'm gonna
I
love
would
it.
like that. It's modern, but still
Yeah,
Clark Kent, right? Like he doesn't always have to wear like the full on trench coat. Keep in mind, guys,
yeah.
these guys are very young still, so
They're 20 something. Yeah,
they're not at the top of where you would expect them to be,
yeah.
reporting wise. And I think this show does a great job also kind of showing what being like early on in your career is like.
Not poor,
And
but like, yeah. I
no,
mean,
no, no,
you're struggling. Yeah,
yeah, you're struggling to make a difference. And for anyone that is in journalism, I think they're gonna feel a lot of relatableness. If you ever got started at any point in your life, in your career, it's a slow build up a lot to move up the ranks. And I think this show does a great job with dealing with that. It's a lot more Daily Planet centric. Like a lot of it is about how these three friends like handle their job, and they want to make a difference, and they want
yeah,
to define who they're going to be,
yeah,
including Clark as Superman, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
aside from like the look, like you said, Ryan, and me like being particularly fond of this version of like Lois Lane, even with Lois's like faults as a character, because all characters have that. um their relationship and the way that the show is tackling that is also one of my favorite aspects of things. I think it's the heart of the show as a whole, but
Yeah.
also like it works. Like the I know it's animation, but the chemistry is there even from their voices, and that's where I want to give kudos to was it Alicia Lee?
Yeah.
Alice, I'm sorry, Alice Lee,
Alice Lee.
because I looked at her resume and it doesn't seem like she's done any voice acting before. A lot of these characters, with the exception of Jack Quaid that I could find, they
Yeah.
have never done voice work. Jack Quaid works on a Star Trek animated show. Everyone else here doesn't, and Alice Lee in particular, she shines here, in my opinion. Because even if her character has faults, the way she's delivering lines, the way she's delivering emotion, like
Yeah.
when there's scenes where she has to show that, I think
Hmm.
she's doing an excellent job. Kudos to her. She has a big body of work in series and shows, but it's
Okay.
live action stuff, not voice work.
Oh,
And a lot of people don't realize those are two different worlds.
of course.
You have to play it differently. So I think she's hopefully gonna get more work off of this, because I think she's really owning this version of the character. And I'm excited to see more from these, like, particularly the Clark and Lois dynamic is what has me now hooked on the show. Like
Hmm.
I want to find out how the rest of it plays out, and I'm really hoping that they continue with the show for like a second season. I'm the fact that I'm already hoping for that, even though I haven't
Yeah.
finished the first season. Like that should say
Yeah.
something, guys. And it's
No,
not perfect.
definitely.
There's things that I don't like. But Jimmy Olsen, in particular, I think his character shows a little bit more of that lack of voice acting experience. Unfortunately, like I felt that a little bit, but I also think his character's written like
Well, I'm gonna have to
yeah.
disagree with you, man. I actually like Jimmy Olsen. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't.
I loved his comedy. His comedy is
He's
so
funny, yeah,
good. There's definitely moments between, and I love that. I love this so much where because Clark has a relationship because on the other like even in Smallville,
yeah.
they didn't really establish.
Oh
He's more
yeah, no,
yeah.
he
He's
didn't show
not.
up until season
This is
7, I
yeah,
think.
like the way they put his chemistry together already with Clark. It's so well put together.
You think
I
so?
loved
Okay,
it. I loved it. I loved it.
all right.
Granted,
That's
I mean
maybe it's just me.
that's their chemistry together though. So that's not him
Yeah.
being singled out or whatever. But I really enjoyed both of them in it. I thought that was really charismatic. It kept me laughing. It was just like boys, they're guys.
Oh
They're
no, he is
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
No, for sure. No, no, no. There's definitely moments here where I've laughed out loud. I'm
yeah,
just with him. I don't think he's given as much stuff to work with, and I'm saying the actor, like for certain lines,
yeah,
I don't think he's being asked to do as much stuff as other characters here, but he is vital. He's on every episode that I've seen. He plays a role. It's three friends, so there is some sort of like third wheel stuff going on, right? Like for anyone that's like a fan of the comic books or kind of knows how things plays out. um I like parts of his character. I just feel like he's not being used to the full extent of what his character can be,
mhm.
other than that third wheel aspect, I think.
I mean,
Uh,
it's more. I mean, just from me watching it, right? Because my
yeah.
like from I don't. I mean, the way it portrays it out. Because again, we're just speaking for the first 7 episodes. Uh, I don't think it's a third wheel yet. I think maybe we got of it a little bit towards the end, but in the beginning,
Okay.
it was just friends. The way
Okay.
it was put out.
No, and
Yeah,
perhaps I need to like watch again, or we just probably
yeah.
have different opinions on that.
No,
Like
and that's
one,
good. Yeah, we see two different sides to it. And I love that.
yeah. And one last thing I wanted to share here before our final thoughts is I there. So I've explained that this show's tailored very nicely
Yeah,
to new audience. There is a couple frustrations as someone who like has read the comic books, or even if you've seen
yeah.
the previous animated, like the classic, it was either 90s or early 2000 Superman animated show. I love that show. It's so good. But even for people that have been familiar with that show, it is a little frustrating because it is introducing you to a new world, and certain villains get like a new origin because of the world that you're being introduced in.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I don't know how I feel about all of the villains having this one particular origin kind of
I
related.
mean, you're saying it politely. I'm going to say it outright. I don't like it.
Well,
I think it's
I
crap.
was
But
yeah,
yeah,
no, so
yeah,
I was gonna say, so like
yeah,
the origin, I'm trying to be open minded of, because it can
yeah.
lead to some cool narrative. But
Ugh.
then what that results in terms of character design, and I'm trying to like walk around the lines here, guys, but
Yeah.
basically like some of these origins change, therefore the way that these characters look
Mhm.
changes, and the way that their powers work changes.
Yes.
That I don't think I like. Like that's the thing that I straight up I did not like.
I'm gonna
I
agree with
can't
you there.
believe.
Yeah,
Like
and to the fact of the matter is that we don't really recognize a main character that we've known and seen in so many different iterations. Because
yeah,
that was my take. I was all like, wait, because then you pointed it out on off camera, and I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
wait,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that person? Like what?
yeah.
I didn't
You have to
recognize it.
catch it.
So
You and
like,
and
and that's the thing too. It sucks because he's a main character that we've seen in so many different iterations of Cartoon Network series, and I'm
yeah,
just like, why?
yeah.
Why? Like you should
Maybe
notice them no
they can
matter what.
still work. Yeah,
Yeah,
they can
yeah.
still work on it.
We'll see
There's
how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out because
yeah,
we still got we still missing 3 episodes,
3 episodes.
so
Yeah,
it could still
but
play out very well.
I'm just hoping that they
Yeah,
start, because I'm not gonna lie, guys. In these 7 episodes, uh, just like any other show, especially in animation,
yeah,
there's usually like a villain of the week, and this term is used a lot
yeah.
to kind of be dismissive of like, they're just gonna run through different villains. Like I said, there is an overarching story that it continues. The main thing, like I said, is the Lois and Clark dynamic,
Yeah.
and even with Jimmy involved, like all their relationship as three people progresses every episode, and
Mhm.
that's what I think like has the story driving forward. It has you interested and peaked. The villains, you're not gonna care that much initially, as far as like, oh, okay, this character shows up. Oh, they defeated that character. Cool, the story moves on. You won't be annoyed by that, but you will be annoyed by, once again, the origin changes, and it seems like very early on, it seems like they're just crossing names off of a list. And like, I think they just wanted to adapt some of these characters in their new world, but I think they could have like left some room for some of these characters to then originate organically throughout the show. But that's my only thing. Once you guys get to watch it, please, you guys are always welcome to like comment here, like return
Yeah,
to the
let us
video.
know. Let us know in the
Let us
comments
know what
down
you
below.
think.
Yeah,
Let
because
us see, are you if you're spotting the same things or different
yeah,
things, right?
yeah. There's a lot, and a lot of times you're gonna have to like look at it twice because you're gonna be like, oh wait, it's that person that you will recognize from the comics or from the other animation irritations of them, variants of them, and everything. And so yeah, I definitely enjoyed this series. I thought it was very well put together so far. Granted, there are some issues we
Absolutely.
have. Nothing's going to be a 10 out of 10. But let's speaking of ratings, Lex, what is your rating officially of this series as a whole, 1 through 7, of season 1, 1 through 7 episodes? Granted, we haven't seen the last 3 guys, so we have to emphasize on
Yeah,
that.
we have to.
As of
I
right
want to see if
now,
they close strong, but
yeah, as of right now, what's your rating as of right now today after watching the first 7 episodes?
I'm gonna give this. I don't know if
Superman's your number one, dude.
yeah, no, I really like the show, and Superman
Yeah.
is my number one. I'm gonna go with an 8.4 as of now. I feel strong.
Whoa.
I feel
Okay. All
strong
right.
about the 8, but
We're
I
very
wanted to give
similar.
it a little bit more because,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm actually like bummed that I don't have access to the last 3 episodes. I'm gonna have to wait quite a while, I think,
Yeah.
to see that. But just the art style, and I
Yeah.
already know, Ryan. I know we have access to the 7 episodes, but I already know that when they air, I'm probably gonna tune in again, just kind of refresh
Yeah.
a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, this show has a lot of heart. I once again find this to be one of the better, uh, like, going into, for me, top 3 Lois and Clark chemistry. Because if you realize, in the live action, it hasn't always been excellent chemistry between these characters, or it doesn't get explored as much. In this animated format, I do think that it's moved up the ranks for me in terms of the Lois and Clark dynamic. I
Yeah.
love this version of Lois. I'm loving this version of Clark Kent, and
You know,
honestly,
the
those
first
are the two
beginning.
that you have to land.
Yeah, of course, and but I like it more so that it's the adventures of 3 of them, all 3.
Yeah,
But see, you're right; they are centered. But for me, they're centering it more on the 3
for
versus
sure.
Lois and Clark, because this ain't Lois and Clark. They
Yeah,
already they already have
it's
that.
just I feel a
No, no,
certain type
yeah,
of way about Jimmy
they already,
Olsen. But no,
they
for
they
sure.
already have that show in live action right now on the CW. So like
Yeah, that is
that
true.
show's already happening. So I love this idea of like, oh, let's do the 3 of them. I'm pretty sure that's what they thought of because they're like Lois and Clark's already happening right now in live action. We're not going to do something like that already because it's already
Yeah,
being done. And this is definitely a risk taker. Whether you like it or not, this is a risk taker, guys. And I think Cartoon Network, they did a good job on it. They did. It was a solid, good
yeah.
work here, guys. Kudos to you guys over there at the creator side of it.
Also,
And,
no, I'm so sorry. I
oh,
don't
no,
want to
go ahead.
interrupt. I was just gonna say, we didn't mention it the whole interview, and I forgot to even comment it to you, Ryan. Just so that people have an expectation too. I'm not too sure as to why this is on Adult Swim, because there's no particularly like violent stuff. There's no cursing in the show. Um,
Oh, yeah.
it's so, if you think, just know not to expect that from the show. It keeps it very heart, like, wholesome, I think. Um, there's no cursing. I actually thought there was going to be more of the violence in the action sequences, so that maybe that is why it's on Adult Swim. I honestly don't know why it's on Adult Swim. But what I'm thinking is, it is dealing with people in their, like, late 20s, I think, or something like
Yeah.
that. So I guess, like, yeah, it's not
Maybe it doesn't
necessarily.
go maybe it doesn't go full on in the first 7. Maybe it goes full on the last 3.
Maybe, and we haven't
Yeah,
finished
we
it,
haven't
guys.
seen
So
it.
just know,
So,
but just know,
yeah.
like, kids can watch this. It's perfectly fine, in my opinion.
So far, right? The so far
So
we
far,
want to
yeah,
say,
yeah,
yeah.
so far,
Yeah.
um, and and then adults can watch it. Like both parties are going to be delighted. I think it's not super hard to like follow. It's a nice watch. I just wanted to point that out because even looking at the trailer, I was like, oh, I wonder why it's an adult swim. Oh, I bet it's gonna have more like adult concepts and things. We haven't seen that other than just being a young adult and just
Yeah,
wanting to work and move up the ranks and stuff. But just wanted to throw that out
yeah.
there. Like you said, Ryan, very well put together.
I
And
I'm just happy to see something come out of Superman versus because we had
yeah,
granted we
we
have to wait
needed,
till 2025,
yeah,
which
we
sucks.
needed more
But
Superman
we
content. I've
needed
heard,
this though. I feel like
yeah,
the world
and I've
needs
heard the
this and
Superman and
everything.
Lois show has kept going well. I stopped midway or early on season two.
Mhm.
I just stopped. It wasn't because it wasn't good or anything, but it now finished season three, and I've heard that it's still
Nice.
going strong. I don't know how many seasons they may have left on that, but I'm just glad that there's Superman content for
Yeah,
us to enjoy and learn more
definitely.
about the character for new people.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna give this a solid 8 out of 10, guys. 8 out of 10
Okay.
rating here. Yeah, we're very similar, man. The relationship, the dynamic between Lois and Clark. I love the dorkiness between Clark. I think
Yeah,
James Gunn needs to create this dorkiness
I
of
think
Clark.
so too,
I
man. Because
okay.
it's
What did you think of this? What do you think of this idea? James Gunn. There in the James Gunn Superman. I feel like this is what he's gonna do, and it's gonna crack me up. He's gonna get the Superman suit. Then he's gonna jokingly put on the underwear and be like, no, not, no, it'll fit, and like make a joke out
maybe.
of it. I think it'll work out pretty good. I think I'll be laughing. You never know. But
Yeah,
the way it looks and everything, maybe it'll come out pretty funny. I think because James Gunn's so good at writing, and he's just so good at writing in jokes that in tune with his story. So
yeah.
yeah, they do really very well. So I'm
We'll see if
excited.
he
Yeah,
does that. Um,
definitely.
just oh man, there was something that I was gonna say to that point. Yeah, the dorkiness of the character. I wanted to say like I think this is like a nice blueprint. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to like tell James Gunn just like copy paste this pretty much,
No,
but
yeah,
the heart is there. So if you can copy even some of the heart, I think it's great. But the
yeah,
dorkiness here for this Clark Kent works a lot. It's not your Christopher Reeve dorky level of dorkiness.
yeah.
Um, it's more modern. It actually feels like someone that like I could talk to nowadays,
Yeah,
and they act like that. They're well
yeah,
mannered, but they're goofy and things like that. And even Jimmy Olsen, his character is very believable
yeah.
in terms of the level of dorkiness. So they didn't overdo it. They didn't underdo it. I think it's just right.
No, definitely, guys, definitely. And the credit goes to Sam Register, of course. It serves executive producer Jake Wyatt, who serves another executive, another producer as well, co executive producers. And yeah, this is definitely it's a lot of people that know animation, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy they got these A-list people to really be the helm and be behind the scenes stuff and to really helm the story and everything of Superman. My Adventure Superman premieres, guys, on July 6th at midnight and will be available next day on Max. I apologize, on Max.
Yeah, we keep adding the
I
HBO.
know we can't. It's HBO. No, it's Max. Oh my God! But it'll be on Max on the next following day. Thank you so much, guys. As always, I'm your host Ryan D. Ryan 680.
And this was Lex. Thank you, everyone.
Catch you later, guys. Stay safe, San Antonio. Peace.